everyone. Thanks for joining us here at France 24. I'm Anelise Borges. Coming up, TV online. Reports suggest Google is joining the race to launch paid television on the internet. In today's show, we discuss the impact on the future of TV and take a look at when this option is likely to be available for you. And in Test 24, we check out ZTE Open, one of the first smartphones to run on the brand new Firefox Operating System. The future of TV is online, or so say tech giants Google, Sony, Intel, and Apple, who are all looking to take their share from the cable TV market. The most recent move has come from Google. According to the Wall Street Journal, the company has approached several media groups about licensing their content for an internet TV service. Marc is here to tell us. Marc, is Google trying to become a TV channel?
Well, Annelise, Google and many of the tech companies that you mentioned are seemingly trying to crack their way into the cable TV market, but not as a TV channel per se, but more as an online media giant, a sort of think of them as a Sky TV, but online. And what they're trying to do is deliver these bundles or packages of television channels, and deliver those, stream those over an internet broadband connection. And Google are saying that their USP is the fact that they will have a much more user-friendly search functions, TV guides to enable them to get more consumers.
Now, we all remember about 2 years ago, similar rumors, and of course, Google's poorly received TV set-top box. Is that why Google is taking all this time? I can't imagine it's a problem of money or manpower.
Look, it doesn't matter how much money, how much manpower you've got. Even if you are Google, the same rules apply to you when it comes to media. If you can't deliver similar or better content at better or more competitively priced or same pricing, you're just not going to get that end user consumer take up. And that's what Google is trying to do. That's the key point for them, is putting in place these kind of license contracts so they get the best content and getting those out of the way and getting those through first before they're able to do anything else.
Now let's talk competition. We both mentioned some of the other tech companies that are also in the race to launch an online version of paid television. What does this mean for the future of TV, in your opinion?
Well, the truth is that we've got companies, you mentioned Intel. Now their on-queue system should be available. They hope for it to be available by the end of 2013. And the interesting thing, they've earmarked $2 billion for licensing content, which just kind of exemplifies just how big and expensive this game is. Apple, obviously, always going to be sniffing around. There's rumors that they may be providing their internet television, but without any ads, and they will kind of compensate the developers out of their own pocket so that they can get the consumers through that. We've got Sony, who are going to be streaming through their own hardware, apparently, so using the PS3, the PS4, and Blu-ray. But at the end of the day, the USP that Google and the rest of these tech companies think is what we've mentioned, more user-friendly. In my time in the UK, I've tried BT, I've tried Virgin Media, Sky, here in France, Orange Livebox, and it's very difficult to navigate, very clunky, and very un-user-friendly. So maybe, you know, if Google and those guys all think there's money in it, I'm sure that there is.
All right, thanks for that, Marc. We're going to move on now. It's time for Test 24. This is the ZTE Open, a modern and compact smartphone, but we're not here to comment on its sleek hardware. The reason why we're testing the ZTE today is because this is one of the first phones to run on the Firefox operating system. Marc, we all know Mozilla for its web browser Firefox, and the company is now turning to the mobile market and launching its own operating system. What did you think of it?
To be honest, great news, personally, for everybody, for any end user. The more competition in that market, hopefully the better for us. And those magic words, open. Using HTML5, which is a lot cheaper and easier to develop on, it's going to hopefully be eating into the slightly more, what they call the walled gardens of the Apple iOS and Android and Google's Android. And I think for all of us, that's going to be great. And they're also announcing that they'll be making security and software updates every 6 weeks, which should tell us that they'll be listening to what the consumers, to what the developers want the changes to be, and they'll make those changes accordingly every 6 weeks. Great news, personally.
So one of the highlights about this particular model is the price, €69, with €30 of prepaid credit. Do you think price is enough to attract consumers to test this new Firefox.
Absolutely. Look, it doesn't matter how you snare them. Once you snare them, that's the best thing. The reason they've released it first in Spain is because it has the highest penetration of smartphone users across major European countries, 66%. The average is 57% across Europe. So they're not going for guys who've already got smartphones. They're going for the guys who don't. And how are you going to get those guys? You're going to get them through price. And let's not forget, 39 euros is actually the cost of the phone. They're giving you 30 euros of credit. To me, that is an absolute steal. Yes, it's not the best smartphone out there, of course not for that price, but seeing as it's being subsidized partly, I think it's a wonderful deal. It's got all of your bells and whistles that you need, 3.5 inch screen. It's got megapixel cameras and that sort of thing. So a lot of things that are fantastic for a smartphone. Personally, it's a fantastic deal, I think.
And I feel tempted to buy it just to check it out because it is really cheap.
Spare
How did
phone.
you rate it? How did you rate it, Marc?
Design appearance, look, it's not particularly good, but we'd expect that from a phone priced at the way it is. 5 out of 10. Very easy to use. 8 out of 10. And really the winner, the value for money, 9 out of 10. I mean, if I could give it 10 out of 10, I would have done. But at the end of the day, we've got to keep hold a bit back ourselves. But a good product.
Thanks for that, Marc, and thank you for watching this edition of Tech24. Don't forget you can get in touch via Facebook or on Twitter. We leave you today with the map of the internet. Available for Android and iOS, the app visualizes the myriad of networks that constitute that elusive thing we know as the internet. It shows internet service providers, internet exchange points, and organizations that help route traffic across the online sphere. Launched by Peer 1 back in March, the map of the internet has already been downloaded 100,000 times. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next week.